Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. I'm James Sinclair, and you are?
James Bird, a.k.a. James Bird Official on Instagram. I'll get in there before you can start it.
There you go, mate. We are speaking to lovely Dave from Yorkshire today.
Yorkshire.
Dave runs a pet food supply company, which I think is called Yorkshire Pet Food Suppliers, isn't it?
It's Yorkshire's finest pet food. It's not just pet food. It's the finest pet food. That's what it is.
Yes, it is Yorkshire's finest petfood.com. Been going a decade. And do you know what's impressive? I had a little pre-chat with him because you were dealing with some other business matters. Doing around £36,000 a month. Ask me how many staff he's got.
How many has he got?
0.
What the heck?
And do you know what? He's doing customer acquisition in a way that you would have had to have done it pre-Tinternet.
Yes.
And
shows and meeting people and
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. And he's bringing £36,000 a month in. He's going to the Yorkshire National Show. He's going to Glasgow. He's going to Peterborough. He's going to Wales. He's going to London. He even does crufts. So he's doing the creme de la creme of these shows. I was just asking before he came on air. He can do 14.5 grand in sales on a 4-day show. He can do 10 grand in sales on a show. Say he done that at Crufts, just for example. How much money do you think he makes out of that?
Out of a 10 grand sales? What, that he's kept with? Probably £1,000, that magical 10%.
He
marker.
said he breaks even on that. But here's the great news. Because it costs like 3.5 grand, 4 grand to go to one of these shows. You've got to have your big stand, you've got hotel costs. But what's really good, pet food, you don't just eat food once, do you?
No, need it again and again.
And people like him and they go, oh, this is really nice food. And so within a month, he gets 25 orders off of those new customers.
Wow, okay.
So you can get to talk to your customers. You can give them some food to try. You're spending 3 or 4 days doing some really good business development.
Yeah.
Which you would pay for usually, but actually you're getting some sales. And sometimes he does make good money from them as well.
Oh, that's good then, isn't it?
So I just think lots of people trying to do all these new fandango, easy wins to get customers. But he's getting a van, filling it with a load of gear. Even if he feels rough, he goes along and does it.
It's good. I know what you're thinking, guys, watching at home. Surely he's not going to be barking up this tree the whole time. He is. He absolutely is.
Do you know, he's got a dog. And he's been teaching it to meow.
Here we go.
Because he thinks it would be useful for his dog to have a second language.
You're an idiot.
So there we go.
Right. He's been going, just under a decade, doing 36 grand a month, no staff. Biggest challenge, working 80 hours per week, and I want to spend some more time with my family. We said to him, so how many staff is it? He said, none. It was like, so you're doing it all by yourself? And he's like, yeah. And we said, what's your partner like about that? And he said, well, she's goes with it, but she thinks I'm going to work myself into an early grave. And if you're doing 80 hours a week, you probably are. So he's super, super busy in the summer. That's his problem. And a bit, he's got probably does just the 40 hours, just a standard week in the winter, which feels like a reprieve. But so 80 hours a week. And he said he could do sort of up to 6-8 weeks in the summer without having a single day off. Second biggest challenge is the business is rapidly growing, but I'm doing everything. Third biggest challenge, looking at selling a part of the business to free up the time. Where does he want to be in 1 year's time? I love the lack of specificity with this. Bigger and better. Just bigger and better. Do
you know, just before you go any further, I was chatting to him. How do you find us? Because I find that quite useful. Yeah. Lots of people find us from my other main YouTube channel, or they've seen me speak at a seminar. But more and more people now, of recent, it's the algorithm presenting us to people. Yes.
Where though?
No, this is on Apple actually, not on Spotify.
Oh, was it? Okay.
He said, I was just driving along listening to podcasts because it's obvious this bloke does a few hours on the old motorways. And it just came up by accident. He just liked it so much. He said, all I do now is listen every day. And I've done all of the content in the last year, and now I eagerly wait for when we dish up new pods for people's ears.
3 times a week, maybe.
3 times a week.
Doesn't have to wait very long, does he? We always ask our entrepreneurs, what does the business look like when it is finished? And he said, I want it to be a multi-million-pound business to sell. Do you make the profit you want to make? And if so, was it? He said, no, as I invest and spend all the profits on stock. How would you spend this is just, I love Dave already. I've not even spoken to him properly yet. How do you spend your time day to day in the business? Doing everything. Just 2 words, just doing everything.
Do you know what though? Dave is, I think, after speaking to him, I can clearly see he is part of the problem. Yes. He could have people help him.
He is the business.
Yeah, he says
and
that
the biggest
classic-
issue with the business.
He said that classic thing to us before we came in here. Yeah, I was getting someone to do my social media. I was sending them everything, and I thought I'll just do it myself.
Do it yourself.
He is the classic. I'm going to be the superhero of this business.
No one could do it as well as me.
No one can do it as well as me. And he will live. I reckon he's got a tattoo saying, "If you want a job done well, do it yourself."
Do it yourself. Yeah, absolutely. It's not the way to grow and scale. And he said he wants to grow something and scale something and wants the advice. So he's got some questions that he'd like to
But
ask
the thing
you
is,
about as
what I'm
well.
trying to say there, JB, is lots of people say they want that. They say they would like a big business. They say they want to be international or, have all that good stuff. But really, it's a mindset thing, changing this. It's not a HR thing. It's not a people's thing. It's a
mentality thing.
He's got all his audience here today.
Absolutely. All right, we're getting to that point. We'll ask
You
him
can try
that.
some
We
in a
will
minute.
Ask him that. Fine, pipe down. It's a mindset shift, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a mindset shift. I'm always staggered.
And possibly sacrificing some of your own income to pay
Yeah.
someone else, which, you're doing all the hours on the motorway. Why should I be doing this? I should be keeping it myself. And that people struggle with it.
Yeah. And it is a big, especially if you're someone like a Dave who's been doing it 10 years and it has been you, me, myself and I. He said that, it's literally me, myself and I. When people have got that mentality, they're relinquishing an element of control.
Yeah.
Or I think there was a post that you had done. You spoke at an event, or maybe it was the buying businesses, and one of the team had made a clip about repeatable tasks. And you're like, if you're doing repeatable tasks, you're doing the wrong sort of work.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I don't think I've ever met anyone who's as good as you. Like, you actually get annoyed, other than content, because obviously it's unique each time. All right, we'll get to that point. But other than repeatable tasks, like, it actually genuinely pisses you off, doesn't it? Like, you can see in your face, if you have to do something repeatable, you get really genuinely angry about
you're
it.
doing a disservice to your business, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
That's
this
why you
dog
got
is
to
really
sit,
going,
isn't
isn't he? He really
He's
wants to be
having a go.
part of this pod.
He does, doesn't he? Should we get some dogs up? Should we get some dogs on the podcast and just get
that'd
to
be
sit
great,
on the table?
Yeah. That'd be great.
Right, before we do all of the other good stuff, let's do this, because it's knock at the door. It's time for this.
Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week.
It's time for interesting quotes or facts of the week. It's the point of the show where James Sinclair chucks a feature in there just because he loves a feature. And let's find out, is he going to go fact or is he going to go quote?
What are you thinking?
He hasn't been on Instagram asking for quotes, so I think he's going to go for a fact.
I am.
He is.
So, in 2023, the UK's pet food market was valued at 3.5 billion smackaroonies.
Wow, we were.
Dog food and cat food make up the majority of this. What are you thinking that breakdown is?
Revenue-wise. We've done this before when we had a pet food brand on.
So it's 3.5 billion, and it's
Yeah.
basically dog and cat food. I mean, I suppose there's a few.
It's got to be
birds.
70-30 dogs, isn't it?
It's 1.84 billion on dogs and 1.5 billion on cats.
Really?
Hmm.
Do we have more dog owners or cat owners in this country? Do we know?
Got to be dogs, isn't it? Oh, I reckon it's quite evenly split, actually.
Do you
We've got a
think?
cat and a dog.
Have you?
Yeah. Well, we've got two dogs and the cat.
Do they like each other?
Oh, cats are pretty, I'm going to get shot down for this, but
Go
they're
on.
pretty pointless, aren't they?
Who brought the cat into the house then? Is this Nats?
Yeah, oh yeah, obviously.
Dog ownership slightly outweighs cat ownership. 36% of households owning dogs compared to 26% of households owning cats.
Shouts
So,
everyone.
can I just say, what is that saying that 36% of households in the UK have got a dog?
That is what it's saying. In the UK, dog ownership slightly outweighs cat ownership with 36%
I
of
can see
households
that.
owning dogs.
So 3.5 in every 10 people.
There are approximately 12.5 million pet cats in the UK. There are 13.5 million dogs as pets in the UK.
No wonder the Mars company have put
Yeah,
so much.
It's a pet food company before chocolate bars.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'm trying to persuade the other half to get a dog. She's not having it. She went, I don't think we're ready for a dog. I'm like,
We've got two children.
We've got
Have a
two
laugh.
children. We've been married for like a decade. What do you think is going to happen here? Who's going to have it when we go on holiday? Like your mum.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
lives 5 minutes down the road. No, she don't like dogs. Your dad will definitely have the dog.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
someone
you
will have
just
the
get the dog. The kids will love it. Do the kids want one?
They're getting closer towards it. We go on these little walks now, and there's a little Jack Russell called Ruby, and we bump into Ruby now on the walks out in the countryside. And Ruby comes over, she sees Louis, and Louis gets all excited.
So
he's
want
like,
a Jack Russell, though.
I know they're horrible little yak things, aren't they? They're a bit snipey, aren't they?
well,
Ruby's all right. She's lovely. We like Ruby. Or we like a Dalmatian. There's a Dalmatian we know called Sid.
They're hard work Dalmatians as well.
What, big
Loads
energy?
of
What have you got? What dogs do you have?
We've got a pug that can't be bothered to go for a walk. You literally take him for a walk and he just sits in the woods and goes, I'm done with this now.
Really?
So you have to end up picking him up and he's...
But they can't breathe properly, can they, pugs? They've got
We
them weird
inherited
nose
him
thing, haven't
because
they?
one of Nat's mates, their kid was allergic to him once.
Oh, really?
So we collected the dog.
What's the other dog you've got?
Bobo, who's a Cocker Spaniel.
A Cocker Spaniel. What was your other dog you used to have?
Boris, who was a Cocker Spaniel.
So why are you a Cocker Spaniel family?
Cocker Spaniels are great dogs. Just fantastic.
Why? What
dogs.
about them is good?
They're just friendly. They're happy. They're not too big. They're not too small. Yeah, they're the best dogs.
And
Labradors and golden retrievers.
Yeah, I fancy a black Labrador.
Oh yeah, all day long.
Yeah, they're nice natured, aren't they? Are you from a dog family, Chuds?
Yeah, definitely. I've grew up with dogs my
Yeah,
entire life.
What sort
Chuds
of
loves
dogs?
a dog.
What sort of dog? Like a big dog? Little dog?
No, we had 2 Lhasa Apsos growing up.
Glad to ask. I don't know what that is.
Very similar to a Shih Tzu.
I beg your pardon. We don't do swearing on this show.
Yeah, 2 small dogs, and then I would get a dog immediately when my living arrangement changes. I'm renting right now, but as soon as I buy a house, I'm gonna get a red lab.
Oh yeah, a red one. You can get red ones.
You know, like
quite rare, aren't they? Hard to find.
I mean, I love Labradors, but I think a red one would be cool.
A red? I didn't even know you could
I
get
mean, it's like fox colour. You know, it's not red
nice.
as in
I'm
Coca-Cola
down for
red.
that. Yeah, get me. I'll get one of them.
Over a golden retriever.
I wanted a golden retriever, but Hannah said no. There's too much fur. So we compromised.
Hannah, get a Hoover, Hannah. Get a Hoover, Hannah. I'm not being misogynistic, by the way. Chuds could also use the Hoover, but I'm just saying Hannah could purchase the Hoover with Chuds if she wants to, just to clarify. Just to
caveat
clarify.
right
Excuse me, can I just say we're a woke free show?
Okay, fine. Let's do swearing and woke freeness.
Yeah, Hannah, get a Hoover.
He's brave from behind a camera. What sort of dog should I get as a starter? Like a starter dog, not like to eat.
Oh,
like,
a Labrador or
Labrador would be good.
Cocker Spaniel
okay.
or King Charles Cavalier, but they get ill.
My nan used to have a 7-stone Rottweiler, and
What are
it
you
was scared
laughing
of her.
at, Chuds?
It's hilarious.
You recommended a King Charles Spaniel, but you said they get ill.
They do get ill.
Do they?
What's the point?
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
like,
well, some breeds.
Teaches the kids about death.
yeah.
No, but some breeds are more susceptible to illness than others.
What,
The,
and the
well,
King-
the ones that we've made, pugs.
Alfie that you call pointless.
Yeah.
Pointless Alfie.
Oh, he is lovely, but he just. Oh, he's,
But they're banned in Australia, aren't they, pugs? Because it's a
What, I mean, just-
genetic...
yeah, we've made them. We've ruined that.
Yeah. So
Human
what were
beings.
they before?
Well, they were.
Was it just a dog with a smashed up face? Went, yeah, do you know what? We'll have 2 of them.
I don't know. It's going one
So
step.
that one's got a smashed up face. Get that one to jump on the back of that one. Yeah, we'll make another one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He don't like it.
Right, come on. Let's get Dave the Rave on the show.
I'm not giving you my fact. I'm not.
No.
I don't.
Oh,
we
no,
don't
no,
need
no,
to.
no, I wanna know.
Oh, do you want to
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Okay,
sorry,
I've got a quote.
Interesting facts of quote of the week's like its own podcast.
Yeah, it is now. You can't long for results that you want.
Results. What's the result?
Results. I've got that post-lunch carb coma. You can't long for results that you want and not have done the work to get it. Because I was thinking about this the other day. Do you know where this came up? You can't long for the results that you want due to the work that you've not done to get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I don't understand what those collection of words that you just said there.
You can't long for results that you want. And
You know what? Have you seen Peter Kay does misheard song lyrics?
yes.
That's what I think some of your quotes are.
No, they're not. These
They're
are
just. I sort of know what you're saying.
I'm
but-
like Chris Williams. I'm like an uglier, older, married Chris Williamson.
right. Okay.
I'm very deep, and it takes a few times for you to go, hang on, let that one land.
But you know, when
Oh,
I
yeah,
give
yeah.
you some good quotes, like you
Other
become the
people's good
average,
quotes, sure.
the average of the 5 people. That's not your bloody quote.
That's
You nicked
mine.
that.
I come up with this. This is a concept that I've
That's
come up
why
with.
it's rubbish.
Right. I'm not having this. I'm leaving. Should we get Dave on?
Let's get him on.
Knock on the door. It's James Sinclair's attitude. Yeah, it's coming. Open it up. Right, Dave.
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Welcome to the podcast. How are you, my friend?
Hello, yes, very good. I think I'm going to get told off, Anna.
Oh, Dave, I don't want to say that you should make assumptions, mate, but I think it is leading down that direction.
No. We're going to push you in a direction of freedom to some degree.
Oof. Here we go.
Sounds good.
Which is also...
and hopefully save your marriage, because if it carries on like this, she might say, which you might be happy about. A lot of people would be happy about being footloose and fancy-free.
Yeah, well, okay, what are you doing? Marriage advice or business advice here, Sinclair?
Well, life advice.
Life advice. Wow, he's gone full.
Can we ask, let's ask Dave, do you actually have a dog, Dave?
Yes, I've currently got 12.
Shut up.
Of course he has.
Yes.
What you got, Dave?
I've got 3 Akitas, 6 German Spits, 2 Chihuahuas, and a Fox Red Lab, funny enough.
Oh, wow.
Shut up. Yeah. There was a thing 2 minutes ago. Now I'm an aficionado of it. Is a Fox Red Lab as exciting as Chuds thinks it's going to be? What's the benefit of it?
They're nice. They're nice to live with. They're nicer Labradors to live with.
What is it about them that makes them a good family dog?
They're just easygoing. They're not. They do as they're told. They're quite chilled. They're not like a border collie or a breed like that just never stops.
I like these ones. So
border collies are working dogs, aren't they? They need to work, and then they're fine, aren't they? But we've just domesticated something that wants to work.
Yeah, my sister's got 2, and she'll take them for a 4-mile walk. They come back and they want to go again. It's just, yeah.
And if anyone's watched a border collie do like sheep shows or gather sheep up, I mean, it's
amazing, isn't it?
It's majestic to watch, and you can see why are we putting them in a house. That's what they want to do, isn't it?
Yeah. They are a lovely dog, but hard work.
Dave, just so that I've got it as a soundbite and a clip, so you're telling me that a good starter dog would be a Labrador of some description for my 4 and 8-year-old, and that's what you would advise me as a dog expert to do for our family's betterment?
Yeah, they're a good friendly dog. Cocker Spaniels are good dogs as well.
Thank you, Dave. That's what I needed. Yeah. Thank you. Lovely soundbite. I'll spare it to the wife.
12 dogs, and you must live in Barking.
Oh, come on. Come on. We're having a good time here, aren't we?
Barking mad. I mean, 12 dogs in your house?
No, 3 of the big dogs, the Akitas, they live outside because I show and I judge pedigree dogs. So we'll go all around the shows. My daughter started showing. So, yeah, we need quite a few to show. Next generation, and yeah.
Akita, is that the Japanese fighting dog?
Yeah, the Japanese are not fighting dogs. That was many, many moons ago.
Okay. Yeah, they're cool. They're very cool looking, aren't they? I saw one of them. A little puppy one of them the other day. It's well cute.
Dave, I mean, there is something that I wasn't going to say on this podcast, but now you've told me that that's so unusual to live with 12 dogs, and you've got a lovely personality. I would be making content marketing of just feeding the dogs every day.
Yes.
People. I mean, I want to watch that.
Yeah. Look at who do we have on? Mordor, Charlie, Mordor Gun Dogs. He has grown an incredible brand off the back of content marketing.
Dave, do you know Mordor Gun Dogs?
No, because I'm more on the show side rather than the gun dog side.
He trains them.
Different sides.
He trains them. Spends a long time training them. He's got like a big sort of estate up in Scotland where people can go and they buy them fully trained, ready to go.
Yeah, so on the dog side, you have like the show side, you have agility side, or you have the working side. So he'll be on the working side.
Yeah.
It's a world I just knew nothing about.
Yeah.
Nothing about. It's very exciting, isn't it? I guess you're either a dog person or you're not.
Like the show side, like Crufts, I think there was 22,000 dogs there over the 4 days.
Wow,
from America, Italy, from all over.
I bring dogs
all over the world. Come.
Is it like the biggest thing in the world of dogs globally then, Crufts?
Crufts is, yeah. It's got the biggest name. I think there was about 1,400 dogs from abroad came. But as I say, that's Australia, America, all over.
Wow,
So they bring the best dogs from abroad to compete against our dogs. So.
And all the dogs that go to Crufts, are they all just super well behaved?
Vast majority, yeah. They've got to be, really, because you've got a stranger who's a judge who's going to examine the dog, go over the dog. So they've all got to be well behaved, in fairness.
What do you show then? Do you show a particular type of dog, like the Akitas? Is that what you show?
It was the Akitas, but they're all getting old. My daughter, she's 14. She shows a German Spitz. So she did really well at German. At Crufts, sorry, did really well. She only got beat by a dog from Denmark.
This is the weirdest conversation ever. Your 14-year-old daughter's taken a German Spitz, but she got beaten by a Danish German Spitz. I'm so confused.
Yes.
Stop saying German Spitz.
A German Spitz that was born and lives in Denmark that came over to compete against us. So.
Wow, this is I didn't even know. And is there big money in having like the top dog, like in that sort of thing?
Not particularly, not really.
So why do people do it? Is it just a love of the dog?
Yes.
Or dogs in general?
Yeah. Competition. Wow. I mean, the winner at Crufts gets, I think it's £200 for winning the biggest dog show in the world.
£200? Bloody hell.
Yeah. But it's a prestige, isn't it?
And does that mean that you could then, if you've got a Crufts winning dog, could you then, if you bred to those dogs, you could sell them for more money because they've got sort of winning?
Because of the creme de la creme, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well that is everything we need to know about dog life sorted and covered off. Let's talk about the specific business. So just give us the summary then, mate. So we've sort of talked about the business, obviously in the sort of the prelude there, but give us it in your own words. Tell us a little bit how Yorkshire Finest Pet Foods started, came to be, etc.
So it started, as I say, it was about 10 or 11 years ago, and I mainly started because we used to feed dog food from one of the big boys, from one of the main suppliers, but every now and then they'd change recipe, so they'd make it inferior for the same money. So I wanted to start my own and make it high meat content and a really good recipe. So I started that and I fed it to my own dogs. My dogs were looking really well and people at shows were asking what I was feeding. So, it's my own recipe. And then people started buying it off me. So I was going to shows with a dozen bags for other people. So I decided to make it into a business. I made my own website many years ago that was, looking back, it did the job, but not very good. And then just built up and up and up and up. I worked full time on a night as a hygiene manager in a factory. I gave that up 4 years ago to do this full time because it got to a point where it really was no work-life balance. So I give the managerial job up to do this full time.
I love stories like this.
Yeah.
So how long ago did they give the job up?
4 years.
4 years ago in the March. Yeah. And it's just, as I say, I think last year 26% growth, the year before 24%, the year before 30%, and it's just growing and growing and growing. But there's still just me, myself, and I.
Yeah, as you famously said at the beginning when we
only that's because you're doing like what 380 grand, 400 grand of revenue a year.
Yes, yeah.
And how much of that's coming from the internet via the shows?
It's probably half and half, to be honest.
And when you started,
the website and shows.
Can you remember what that looked like when you started? Was it all shows and no website?
There was the odd show. I still did. I put a week's holiday in to do the Great Yorkshire Show. I did agricultural shows on a Sunday. So I'd finish work on a Saturday morning, work and night, and then I'd go to a show on Sunday, the agricultural shows up here, Northumberland and things like that, to build it up. But I got to I think I was about 110 grand when I packed in, or 120 grand when I packed in my full-time job because it was just getting too much. So I decided to jump, and I thought, well, if I do this for 6 months and it doesn't work out, then I'll go back into a managerial factory job. But it has worked. So it's good.
So I think you've got one of two choices. You stick what you are and maybe reduce a little bit so that you have some time off and try and put your prices up so you make the same net profit. Or number two, you turn this into a commercially profitable enterprise that eventually works without you in it. And you need to make the decision of what that is before you then take the next crossroads.
To be honest, I'd love the second option, but it's just getting there.
Well, I think the getting there is not the problem. It's, and I'm speaking for you a bit here, Dave, which I try not to do. But, you know, if I had a 400,000 revenue business, I would absolutely have an employee, at least one full-timer. And if this is my business, I would probably employ someone that can do video editing and record you with dogs, making content, talking about recipes, following you at shows, recording you all the time, and you putting out content every single day.
And then people love this stuff as well, don't
Absolutely.
they? The internet goes mad for it.
And then I would also be doing lots and lots and lots and lots of Google ads and Facebook ads. I mean, I would be probably, I would be trying to get together spending between £500 and £1,000 a day on AdWords and I wouldn't be worried about breaking even because you're prepared to spend £3,500 to do a show and break even. I think if you can have that mentality with some AdWords across social and on Google, then you get all your profit from lifetime value because people keep coming back if they like your products.
Yeah.
And I think you've proved that is what happens. People do come back to you every 6 weeks. You said that in our pre-chat that we had. And then you can slowly build another person to look after all the orders and the shipping out. And then, then you employ someone to help you do the shows, and then they do some shows and you do some shows, so you can double up on shows. And the shows are good because they get you repeat customers.
Yeah. Another thing I forgot to tell you, I don't have premises either, so I do all this from home as well.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if that works at the moment because you want to keep it frugal, then that's the case. But you can save £500 in the detriment of making £5,000.
Yeah.
And it is a mindset thing that people have to shift, because at the moment you take your 400 grand a year, you have the cost of your ingredients, you have the cost of your shows, and then the rest is yours. And then that means that you might lose, not make as much money for a little while as you're paying others. But if you don't do those things, you'll never get to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, like I do a lot of advertising. Like there's a weekly dog paper that comes out. I have adverts in there every month. Lots of dog magazines. So I am spending quite a bit on that kind of advertising and Facebook, but not
when you
Google
say
ads as
well. Yeah, but Google AdWords is very quickly if it's working or not.
Yeah, I did that a few years ago through, I think it was Yell that I was spending.
Yeah.
I think that was £400-500 a month, and it didn't really work. But I don't know if it was because of them, it didn't really work.
Well, what's really important, and I'm sure JB will back me up on this, how good the website is gives you much better results on how much your spend is. Much better results on whatever you spend, because you want to make sure that the website converts really, really well to a naked audience that don't know you. Once people know you, you can get away with your website not being very good because they want the product and they'll put up with it. But actually, if people don't know who you are and they're just shopping and looking around the internet, it's really important that, all of that flows in to what you're doing on Google Ads.
Yeah, I've actually just got on your website. The one that's on there now has only been live about a month, so I did spend quite a few £1,000 getting a new website because the other one just didn't it was outdated. So I got this new one to send people to a better website.
And the other thing is, just while I'm here, I would find an e-commerce marketing agency that specializes in e-com, not a broad service agency. That all of their clients have got websites that sell stuff rather than websites that just sell products, services, they're a master of nothing. So you find an e-commerce marketing agency that really understands e-com, and they don't do everything else.
So how's the best way to find them though? Because there's so many. If you Google it, there's so many, and you don't know who's good, bad.
Yeah, but that is the challenge of life.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a few, but I'm reticent to recommend them on the podcast in case they don't do a good job for you. But if you email us when we come off air, and the person that organised this podcast, we will recommend 3, and then you make the decision. Because
because I've always said, even though I'm from Yorkshire, it doesn't bother me about spending money if it brings you in. I don't mind at all. But there's so many like advertisements, and you say, "Oh yeah, I'll do that for 3-6 months," and they just don't work. And you just think, are they getting the readership? Are they getting this?
Well, no, the ads could be rubbish. Most people's ads are rubbish. It's not about the readership. Is the headline good enough? Is the offer, the guarantee? Writing, using the copywriting and the headlines and all of that is so important. And most people are just terrible at it.
Yeah.
Are you making all your ads?
No, I've got 2 people. I've got somebody else who's just done the website. They've just restarted a newsletter for me. So last month I sent one to JB. That was the first time. So now my newsletter will come out the 1st of every month, because I found that worked before. But I was asking somebody to do it for me previously, and they were like, it's pointless sending them to your current website because it just doesn't work. So I got my new website done. Then I've started the email campaign again.
One thing I'd say on the website as well, you need some better renders of the images, because I think these are renders, aren't they? They're not photos of the product, because you can't actually zoom in on them. If you go onto any Amazon product, for example, it does that like mega zoom in thing. People want to be able to click onto it and read the ingredients and stuff, I'd say. So if I was you, I'd get some good quality imagery, or if those are renders, which I think they are, just get those renders in a bit higher quality, because you can't actually read the content on the front of the bags and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Because like Jimbo says, you can have the best advert in the world, but if you then land to a page that doesn't convert very well. We've had a few e-com agencies on this, haven't we? So that might be able to help you out, but definitely worth... I
mean, I'm just going to put it out that I know you've probably spent a lot of money on that website. I don't think that's a good website for converting customers on e-com.
Right.
And I would be going out there and trying to find. I mean, by the way, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't think it's great or good either.
Right.
I think that those sorts of what you've got there is if people know you, they like you and they trust you, then it will work and it's fine. Yeah. But if you're going to start spending 500, and you will, if you really want to ramp this up, you'll be doing $1,000 a day on Google Ads. You just will.
Yeah.
And you've just got to, it's so important that website. I mean, yeah, JB's just on another one right now. I mean, it is night and day better than yours. But that's why you need the advice of a really good e-com marketing specialist company that have built lots of e-com websites, and they know all the tips and tricks to get you better conversion rates.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would say, like with the 3 agencies that Jimbo's willing to sort of send you the details of.
Well, and if you know any, mate, I can't think of
anyone specifically for this. I know a few good e-com ones, to be fair, but reach out to us after. But even with those, what I'd be doing is get them to pitch you for the work. Tell them what you want it to do, set them some goals and some parameters, and then get them to actually pitch you for what they would do and how they would operate, because then you get a really good understanding, because otherwise you end up in a situation like a Yale.com where someone goes, oh, it's easy and I'll take it off you and we do 20 quid a day and blah, blah, blah. That sort of stuff. Google used to have a low tier product. It was like 25 quid a day. And they would set it all up for you. It was crap. It never converted anybody. It was just a way of sending Larry and Serge more money effectively. But you need to get someone who really understands that space.
Yeah, I mean, he's using Yale. I mean, that's so broad. So that's broader than broad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you really need a
Google Ads who've got intent.
Yeah,
definitely. As I say, with the Yale, they phone you up once every 6 months and say, "Oh, we've sent 12,000 people to your website." Man, I'm not sure you have. Like,
Yeah. Whereas
And it didn't convert anyway. So
yeah, and with Google, if you do it cleverly, like you can pixel the pages, you can send it to a specific link. There's loads of different ways you can actually track the traffic, and that's what you'd want to do. And you want someone who could break down. I used someone for a client of ours wanted us to recommend a third party, so I sort of like sat in there and sort of helped consult across the project, and their reports were amazing. And even if conversions were working, it was brilliant. You could see why, and if it dropped for a month, you could see why as well because they had so much data to back it up. So
yeah, that'd be ideal.
Definitely the way to have a look at it. Let's jump onto your questions, mate, just to make sure that we can give you as much value as possible. So the questions that you said that you'd like to ask Jim, you said question number 1 was, should I sell a part of the business that generates 16 grand profit per year? What is that part of the business?
So that's the frozen raw side. So basically I have the treats and the dry, the kibble side, but then I also have basically dog meat that's frozen. So I deliver that. And that's when I listen to my podcasts and everything, when I'm out delivering that. But I find when I come back from a show, I might have 2 days between the next show and 1 day spent delivering that when I could have a day off. But it does generate profit. So it's knowing what to do with that.
What say you, James Sinclair?
Just give me that one more time.
So the different. So I do the treats, which like rabbit ears or different animal parts, dried treats. I do the dry kibble, which is Yorkshire's finest, the pet food, and we also do. So I have some freezers at home that are full of frozen meat. So it's like chicken meat. There's beef, there's lamb, there's game, there's things. And then I'll supply, I deliver that to a customer. So I might have a customer at, say, Richmond, and I'll take them 20 of the big chubs and deliver it.
Well, why don't you use DPD for that?
Because, well, during the COVID, I was sending a lot out, but it's got together next day because it's frozen. And it can be 2 or 3 days. Oh, they're horrendous. I must have lost 1 or 2 out of every 10 deliveries, or they're broken, or the polystyrene box are broken. So I in the end, I stopped doing it nationally, and I only did it local. So
yeah, but
I
get
just
better
load
boxes. I mean, we send ice cream out next day in better boxes. I mean, Gusto. There is, you choose a different courier. I find a way of sorting that out.
Yeah, well, all my dog food goes with DPD, but with the frozen, DPD won't collect from my house.
Yeah, but there's loads of other couriers that will.
Yeah, it was just a nightmare.
Well, I would investigate that and, do a bit more R&D into that.
Yeah, I'm just so busy on the other side.
Employ someone then.
Yeah, I did look at somebody to like employ them for the day to deliver, but that's the vast majority of my profit gone. So I'm paying for freezers, I'm paying for stock, and then I'm paying someone to deliver it. There isn't a great deal of margin in it.
We'll get a courier that will work, and then get a multi-skilled team member. I mean, yeah, but you going out delivering is an absolute chocolate teapot of an idea, because that means that you're not growing your business. That means you're doing a technician's job. You're not even doing a manager's job, a leadership job, an entrepreneurial job. And that is just stopping you from growing your business. Stuff like that needs to stop pronto.
And I've done that for eight years, probably 9 years. And as I say, this was like in the transition. This was probably 50% of my business, or just under 50% when I give up work. But now it's obviously the other side's grown rapidly, so this is a lot less. So it's just what to do with it, kind of thing.
Find a courier that can do it, and then you employ someone that can help you to, run the business. Someone doing admin, picking, packing orders, loading the van. There'll be someone that can do that for you. You want a multi-skilled person that you can say, "Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?"
Yeah.
Enthusiastic, good energy, good with people, willing to do
There'd be
everything.
loads of people.
Yeah, 100%.
It's quite sporadic as well, though. So like this week I could have done, 6 orders. Next week it can be 36 orders. It's very sporadic.
But that's why you want multi-skilled people, so they're doing lots of different things like you.
Yeah.
They're loading the van, unloading the van, answering emails, working at shows with you, making content. Like you do. No day is the same for you. A lot of people will love a job like that. Right, today we're making the first three. Any quiet time you're making content.
Right. Yeah.
Look, you can either make a change or you can accept where you're at and you won't move any further forward.
Yeah, no, and that's why I wanted to come on here to,
which is also okay.
I do want to push it forward.
Because if you don't, if you've got a sort of a lifestyle that you kind of like and you don't want more stress and more people, that is also okay. Like you don't have to grow for the sake of growth. But what you can't do is sit in this sticky middle of 80 hours a week for like effectively an okay-ish salary once everything's paid for. Like that's hard going. That's not sustainable.
Yeah, no, I'd like to personally. I keep driving and I keep advertising. I just like to keep driving and pushing it. It's just, as I say, I'm on my own, so it's I probably have to take the leap and get somebody in to help me.
But don't do the get someone that can really help you.
Yeah.
Like don't just do a minimum wage person. Like get someone that's going to be better than you at stuff.
Yeah.
So that because that's the big mistake everyone makes. It means you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of your good stuff for a little while, but get someone that's got skill sets that will benefit you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Which would be the advertising, the e-commerce side.
I think you need to don't just properly think about it. Go for a walk with one of the dogs and think like, what am I not very good at? What would be brilliant for this business if I had that skill set in our toolbox? And then you go and find those sorts of people. Like get someone that can do all your bookkeeping, pay all your bills, pay all the shows, do all your invoicing.
Yeah.
Basically,
yeah, definitely.
You want to be working solely on income generating tasks over operating tasks, and anything that income generates should get more of your attention.
Yeah.
And God forbid, have a day off.
Yeah.
Second question you said then, and this also comes down to the employing thing or the staff thing. Was question number 2 is how can I employ someone when I run the business from home? You did it from your nan's house, didn't you, when you were 16?
Couldn't give a monkeys about that. Yeah, I had 4 staff come and work in my house full time where I lived.
Did you have a dining room? You were out in the back of the dining room?
Yeah, we had a back annex where everyone came. Aaron, Luke, and then we had other people. You have to just deal with that.
Yeah, works out. Yeah.
Question 3, how do I get more time when I have 5 different parts of the business and I can't employ anyone to do one, including the bookkeeping?
Well, I think you get a multi-skilled team member that can do a little bit of everything. And then as you get bigger, then you go, right, now we're just going to
need a specialist.
Yeah, that's
in that bit.
So you do generalist first into specialist.
Yeah.
All routes are leading in one direction here, Dave.
They certainly sound like it, don't they?
They do, mate.
Or like JB said, and I've said, is just stay as you are.
No, I like pushing. I like competing. It's like at one point when I was thinking of selling the raw part, I even asked somebody if they wanted to buy that side off me. And then I found myself, as soon as I've got 5-10 minutes, I was putting Facebook ads for my raw, and I'm like, I'm trying to sell something and I'm still trying to push it here to make it busier. And I don't need it busier, but yeah, it's just mindset.
One multi-skilled employee and an agency to do paid ads for you.
Yeah,
that is the next step secret sauce for you. It is not more complicated than that. Sometimes we have conversations that go on for an hour and a half about multifaceted things that people could do. That's the 2 things you need to do. One great multi-skilled member of staff and an agency. That's it. Everything else is a fool's errand until you've got those 2 things in place.
Yeah.
When would you like to have that first employee up and running, Dave? Putting you under positive pressure here. When will you do this?
Well, ASAP, really. If that's what I need to do, and it's definitely looking like it.
When do you get busy with the shows? Is that all through the summer? Is it?
I've got a show this weekend, and then it's every 2 weeks after that until June, July, the busiest months.
Yeah.
they really ramp up, because all of a sudden, with the good weather, or hopefully good weather, all the shows are outside, so they can have them every week then, rather than trying to find large venues inside. So you find all the agricultural shows start in the summer. The big dog shows are mainly in the summer. So it is the summer months, so it gets really busy.
Better get sticking a job advert out then, baby.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome stuff. All right, mate. Well, keep us posted, and if there's any way we can help, we will definitely do that, and reach out as well so we can connect with a few e-com agencies as well. If there is anyone who's sitting there going, do you know what? My Shih Tzu could do with a lovely little dinner tonight. Where should they go to, mate, so they can start getting your beautiful, delicious food?
Yorkshire's finest pet food at .com on the internet, or I'm also on Facebook, which is Yorkshire's finest pet food.
Amazing stuff. Well, we wish you well on your entrepreneur events. We wish you a good summer of good weather so that all those events can be outside. Hopefully you and your new employee will have a great summer, and we wish you well. Thank you for being on the podcast, mate.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Dave.
Cheers.
All the best.
Bye.
See you,
Bye.
mate. Cheers, mate. There you go. Dave, all the way from
A lot of people
Yorkshire. Yorkshire.
A lot of people like Dave.
Yeah,
A lot of people like Dave.
100%. Difficult place to be. Difficult. Do you know, I remember sat in an office with you in 2019, and you said something. I don't think you realised how powerful it was as a statement. You said a load of waffle, which I just went in one ear and came out the other, frankly. But one of these things you said to me, you said most people fear employing staff. I fear not employing staff. And I was like, oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's well.
And you live by that, didn't you? Because everyone looks at you and goes, how'd you do so much? I don't.
Yeah.
I do one bit. I buy the stuff. I buy the businesses and I sell the businesses. That's the bit I do.
And come up with income generating ideas. I'm on the hunt for innovation.
Yeah.
No, they're the things: innovation, marketing, culture, and recruiting. They're the 4 things that you've got to be on.
And anything else is a waste of time or a lower
Yeah.
value task.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, there we go. All right, let's give him a rating. It's time for the 8 Traits of the Greats, the point of the show where we rate the great traits of entrepreneurship. James Sinclair, leading light of British entrepreneurship, has disseminated all of the great stuff that makes people wonderful from a business context, and he's distilled it into 8 little attributable things. Here you go. You can have my pen, love. Because what do you do with pen? I don't. You've literally got a clip on the side of the thing.
It's fallen on the floor.
For the thing. Of course it has. Right.
Okay,
go on
right.
then.
Starting with the end in mind, baby. I actually think he does know what he wants. It's just whether he's going to do it.
Yeah, go on then. James Martin will be turning in his grave when he
They're
sees this.
passionate about their cause.
Oh, he loves the dog. Are you kidding?
Untold amounts of resilience. I don't think he's pushed himself. He's not having that.
I'm not being funny. He was running the business and had a day job till 4 years ago.
Well, that makes you resilient.
I think so.
Lots
Makes
of
you
people do that.
hard-working.
Oh, given that. No, I think untold amounts of resilience is when you've been tested. Just working long hours doesn't test you.
Do you know? Oh, okay, fine.
No, like finding payroll or being knocked.
Yeah, fine.
That's the sort of
That's
stuff.
a different resilience. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
Great relationships with people.
Oh, yeah. I'd buy my kibble from him all day. I will when I get my red Labradoodle or whatever I'm
Commercial awareness. I'm not giving him
buying. No,
that.
you can't have that.
Innovation or evaporation. Is he an innovator?
Oh, no. He's driving food around because he can't find someone to put a better box.
Bull marketeer, no.
No.
It's staying teachable. It's a
Oh,
4.
I
It's
tell
a
you.
4. Knock on the door.
Knock on the door. No, he can't. Knock on the door. It's a 4. What's a 4? He's got a 4. A few little tweaks and he can have much more. He's got a 4. Few little tweaks and he can have much more. He's got a 4.
Yeah.
Shut the
Come on now.
We love it.
This is the best jingle ever. I love it. I want it to be my ringtone on my phone.
I don't know what I like more, this jingle or Chudd's face when we do the jingle.
He hates all this stuff.
We're goading him. There you go. You got it 4. I am going to be really interested to see what happens with Dave. Will he actually do it? Because he's only got to do one thing. He needs to do one thing right now. Will he go and do it? Who knows? We will find out. Anyway, it's time for now this. It's time for the business quiz. Cheers, Chuds.
It's Jim versus JB on the quiz that's businessy.
Do you know when I was young?
Here we go. Can you tell on that camera there if you know he's setting himself up for a rubbish joke? Because he does this weird smile. He goes, go on then.
When I was young, my dad used to make me walk the plank because we couldn't afford a dog.
You've got these all day, haven't you? The light entertainer in you will never leave. Right, in this quizzical envelope, there is a quiz question that pertains to the conversation that we have had today. And today's question is, Mars Pet Care Inc. is an industry leader in pet food. What was their annual revenue in 2023? Look at that dog on that thing there. Can you see that, Chuds, on the camera? He's loved whatever he's had there, isn't he? Oh, Rossi ice cream. Oh, yeah, lovely. So Mars Pet Care Inc. is an industry leader in pet food. What was their annual revenue in
just in pet food?
2023?
Just in pet food, or as
I'm guessing so. I'm gonna do the. What do you reckon? I'm waiting for him. I'm going to draw a bow.
30 billion in pet food.
Oh.
50 billion total, including confectionery.
Fine. I've gone 8 billion and I drew a bone. Some of us are cleverer at things than others. Okay, so you've gone 30 billion in pet food, 50 billion in total annualized revenue, and the EBITDA was about 3%. The answer is 20 billion. You win. Oh, hang on, no, I do. Hang on, I can't work out maths here now either. 20 billion is the correct answer. Nestle Purina Pet Care beat this with an annual revenue of 21.5. Oh, so they're bigger. I thought Mars Inc. Petty food was the biggest one.
Well,
Nestle.
Mars are bigger if you include all of their vet practices, which, because I know this to be correct, so it's a bit of a cheat, really.
Because the acquired episode.
Well, and then I went in a rabbit hole and I said, but they own loads of vets. You know, we spoke about this a few weeks ago. They own.
It's the biggest pet care chain in America, isn't it?
Yeah, vets. No, vets.
Sorry,
actually,
vets.
like if you got
Mars Pet Care owns 50 brands, including
They bought a Royal, the one from France.
It's good.
Is it Purina? No, it's
no, monsieur.
What is it called? I can picture the logo. It's a white bag with a pink logo.
It's got a big crown on it.
Yeah.
It says Royal Canine.
Royal Canine.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Name me another brand.
Pedigree Chump.
You can have it. Name me a third brand. Think Cats.
Whiskers.
Absolutely. He's got the trio, guys. He knows everything there is to know about pet food. In 2023.
Do you know the interesting thing about this as well? The Mars original Mr. Mars, that really got it going. He saw that wasn't something they did as we've made loads of money from selling sweets. They were doing pet food really from the off within the first few years of setting up Mars.
That's a great episode. If you want to hear an entrepreneurial story and you've got 4.5 hours to kill.
Well, not just them.
Acquired.
Business Movers and Business Wars have done some pet food stuff as well.
They have.
So it's really, but Business Movers are really good as well because you get it sort of condensed down. You don't have to give up a couple of weeks.
Yeah, acquired is like 2 weeks worth of commute time, isn't it? In 2023, Mars Pet Care held 29% of the market share. So there you go.
That's unbelievable. One company owns, because if you own 10% of market share, you're like massive. To own 30% nearly.
That is crazy. There we go. Well, that is the podcast wrapped up for today, amigos. So if you have enjoyed the show, please feel free to leave us a 5-star review wherever you download your podcast. If you are listening on Spotify, leave us a comment. Because you can comment in Spotify. That'd be cool to see some
We're doing very well on
Spotify.
Spotify.
We're smashing it on Spotify. We were number 1 in marketing last week, weren't we? We were number 4 in business and technology.
I don't know how it was number 1 in marketing. This is not really a marketing show. I mean, we do give people little tidbits on marketing.
Yeah, we've talked to him about marketing.
But we are much more a relationship advice show than a marketing show.
Yeah, well, we are a bit of that. Don't knock a gift horse in the mouth, though.
No.
Do not.
But we're doing very well. Chuds was showing me we're doing very well in the business end entrepreneurship section where we do really want to be.
The podcast, Spotify, we talked about this before, but what they're doing in terms of like podcast discoverability, because there was one episode that Charles was showing me and it popped. It obviously like ended up on an explore page or a discover page or something, and how they're actually helping shows to get found is going to make a big difference.
Chance has dumped Apple as his place where he listens to things.
Have you switched over to the dark side?
But for music as well.
Do you still listen on Apple? You use Spotify?
No, I think I'm still on Apple Music.
Out of habit, though.
Out of habit, yeah. Out of habit.
Yeah.
But I think
Spotify's a much better user experience, but I'm still just going to Apple because it's...
But I think that will change.
Yeah.
Interesting on the streaming, though. Like, I was thinking about this. We've got all the streaming bloody things at home.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that you don't really compete. You're like, oh, I'm a Disney Plus person, so I won't have Netflix. No, you have them all.
You have them all, yeah.
We've got Prime.
Yeah.
We've got Netflix,
Disney Plus,
and the other we've got another one.
Now TV.
No, we've got Sky as well.
Yeah.
What a waste of money.
You've got a Sky as well, like the full package, all the sport and all that you don't care about.
No, not the sport. No.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, there you go. Well, hopefully you have enjoyed.
I think people see entertainment spend as essential. Like they see Netflix as essential living. It's really weird.
I can see that.
Because
you might not want to go and drop 50 quid taking the kids to the cinema, but you'll happily like rent them a movie for a £5.
Yeah. Well,
when was the last time you went to the cinema, by the way?
I went and took the kids to see Wonka with Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée.
He's everywhere, isn't he? What's happened to him? He's like megastar now, isn't he?
I love when people just turn to a megastar out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like Nicholas Hoult, do you remember About a Boy? And now he's like a baddie in the next Superman film.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know who
he
he is.
I took the kids to see Minecraft at the weekend.
Actually, that's interesting. Who do you think the most famous person in the world is right now?
It isn't, but it should be Michael Chudley. That's my vote.
Who do you think is the most famous person?
Most famous person in the world. Most infamous person in the world is Andrew Tate. Most famous person is probably Donald Trump.
I would say Donald Trump is the most famous person in the world right now. And he don't care, does he? No. He's just doing what he wants.
Most famous person
in this non-political show that we have.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo, 300 million followers.
Yeah.
Guess how much he charges to do one post on his Instagram?
$100,000.
$1.8 million per post. So if you got Aquavoss or whatever it is.
But I mean, I could do that. I mean, I've got a very similar body to him. So if that's what people are tuning in
side by side, then it would be,
Cristiano. No, sorry, it's James Sinclair.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Cristiano, what is it that you say all the time about buying businesses? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, sorry, it's the other sexy guy. Sorry, that's my generic Portuguese accent for you. Right, I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. We'll see anything you need to sell. We've got to pay the bills.
Oh, yeah, guys. If you'd like to come and see us at our podcast live show, it's going to be in Leicester Square, at the theatre called the Leicester Square Theatre.
It's brilliantly named.
Yeah. Tickets are only 35, something like that, £. Very cheap.
Cheapest we could do it.
Yeah,
through the theatre.
It costs us money to do, so please turn
Don't cost me nothing.
No.
It costs him a load, though.
But I'd love to see you there, and we'd love to see you there. So you go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and then there's a link on there that sends you to the theatre website where you buy the tickets. And they're going like hotcakes. We'd love to see you there on June the 9th this year. And then if that's not enough for you, come along to Business Masterclass. This is a 2-day entrepreneurial spectacular again in London where I'll where I'll
teach you everything. Whenever he talks about it, guys.
Yeah,
come on.
I know. So
you can get through this, man.
Where I'll teach you everything I know about growing businesses and building your entrepreneurial life. See you there.
And you know a thing or two about that now, didn't you?
Oh, I do,
How many businesses you got today?
We got a lot. I think I've got 57 appointments on Company's House. I've got so many appointments on Company's House.
You don't come up, do you?
I don't. I come up as 3 separate people on Company's House. And we've rung them. How many civil servants have we got now? Have I told you this?
No, go on.
This really annoys me. 2012, the United Kingdom had what?
Just save this. You wrapped up 10 minutes ago.
Fine.
That's a great conversation.
Join us next time to find out how many civil servants James Sinclair's annoyed about.
Oh, Chad has put a big sort of blooper
executive
in that.
production.
See you in the next one. I'll give you the answer. Bye.
Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business. If you're loving the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And why not give this one a watch? I think you'll like it.